You know what they are doing to nurses out in California is beyond sick. It really truly is. Now, it's bad enough in California. They want these nurses to work sick. They don't care, because they have such a major shortage. Well, it gets even worse. So if they have to stay at home, they are expected to use vacation or sick time, no more paid leave. So you got to use that time if you want to stay home. Wow. And these folks want to know why folks ain't budging to go out here and work for them anymore. And when you get called terrible managers and bosses, you don't think it's true? It's true. It's true. And as these stories keep surfacing, it's nothing but the truth. So we know when the pandemic began, nurses are, of course, on the front line. And, a lot of people were applauding the nurses and everything they were doing to work. And we watched their videos sometimes while they were right inside the hospital giving an assessment of what it was like. Well, mm, we know nurses that nursing is another profession where they are losing a lot of people each and every day in America. And we have seen them from the beginning all the way up until now. And the spread of the pandemic across the country and numbers going up, for hospital stays. And yeah, I seen some of the comment. Well, it's not high around me. Well, I didn't know where you live or where you're located is the measuring stick for the whole country. I wouldn't expect it to be high everywhere, but there are a lot of locations where there's a big population of people and it is high. And of course, there's going to be other areas where it's not so high. I mean, damn, isn't that common sense? But some of y'all take it to like, oh, well, if it ain't happening around me, then it can't be happening anywhere. Since when? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are some instances where nurses are, positive, some are asymptomatic. And of course, you know, it's bad enough that these folks are also dealing with the possibility of spreading this even among their family members. And many of the nurses do want to follow the guidelines of sick leave when they have it. Well, they don't want to give them sick leave, y'all, because of staff shortages that are happening across the country. And because of the rise of the pandemic and everything. So they are saying, if you stay at home, we're going to take your vacation days, we're going to take your sick days, but we're going to forego giving you paid leave. So a statement came from the Department of Health that said, while it's extremely grateful for all of the state healthcare workers, it has given hospitals, emergency service providers temporary flexibility because hospitals are reaching capacity and staffing shortages continue. It said, however, the hospitals have to exhaust all other options before resorting to this temporary tool. The St. Francis memo also said that guidance for boosted workers who tested positive, who have mild symptoms but are improving, they may isolate for fewer than 5 days and are supposed to treat only patients that are sick. However, it says this may not be possible in all settings and circumstances due to extreme staffing shortages. The same caveat is also given to workers who are eligible to be jabbed, but are not. And those who have been have yet to receive, the third one. For people who need to check their status, um, mm, mm, mm. so they are responsible for getting tested themselves, and it can take up to several days to get an appointment for testing because of the shortages across the country. Mm-mm-mm. So, ladies and gentlemen, I feel bad for these nurses. So, if you get so sick that you got to be out, you got to use vacation or sick days. That's it. You have no other option. Nothing. So, if you get sick multiple times, you could literally use all of that time up. And then what are you left with at that point in time? So, in California, a pandemic era law required companies with more than 25 employees to provide 80 hours, up to 80 hours of paid leave. The law expired in September, leaving employers to set their own policies. And we know what their policies are going to be. Their policies are only going to be the kind that benefit the company and not the employee, because, see, this is how these folks operate. This is how they've been operating the entire time since being on this soil. It only has to be rules that benefit them and not anyone else, including their employees. California Governor Gavin Newsom included sick leave in his proposed budget for this year, but it is unfunded and has not been adopted by legislature. The American Rescue Plan, which Joe Biden signed earlier last year, extended the Trump era Families First Response Act, which gave companies fewer than 500 employees incentives to provide paid family leave. The incentives ended when the law expired in September. Okay, well, my question is, why did you let it expire when you know there's an active pandemic going on? Why would you let that expire? Okay. Mm-mm-mm. So in California, the Union of Healthcare Professional Trade Union represents 32,000 registered nurses and other healthcare professionals in the state, calling on employers to reinstate, leave, or stop requiring asymptomatic members to, go through testing. So no matter how you look at it, y'all, this has been 100% pure hell for the last 2 years. These folks haven't done one damn thing that made this whole ordeal better. They haven't done one thing to make it better. All they know how to do is blab and talk a good game. But now that we need to see those words turn into actions, they fall very short on that. And see, that's the last thing that's needed at this point in time. You don't need words, you need action. And it's like everything they've done from the beginning, they're still trying to enact now and wonder why it's not working. I mean, seriously, nothing has changed. The same things they were implementing then, they are implementing now. It didn't work in 2020, it's not working in 2022, and we're still going through the same motion over and over and over. Boy, these folks really don't know how to learn a lesson. That's one thing we do know. My heart goes out to all of the hardworking nurses in America that's putting yourself out there And it's just another sign of not being appreciated. It really it is. And you can expect this to go on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, these folks don't want to give to save their mama's life. They rather leave you hanging and try to justify why they left you hanging. But I mean, what do you expect? If you're not going to look after your employees, you ain't going to do nothing else. No wonder why there's been no reparations. You got these folks out here every day. Many of them got families and everything. And what they want to do is take your vacation and your sick days and use that, and just so they don't have to give you paid leave. Wow. Y'all, please tell me what you think. This is only going to get worse. And in my opinion, this is going to inspire those few people you got left out here to walk away. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.